What is up, guys? I'm Dad the Critic, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, as you can see based on the title, we're going to talk about chess. And you might be thinking like, Dad, what gives, right? Like chess isn't a proper noun. I thought you were going to review like brand name things and stuff like that. And to that, I have two things to say. Number one, it's my channel, so I can review whatever I want to review, right? Number two, if you're calling me Dad in your head, we may need to have a talk. Anyway, let's get into the dad review. All right, so let's talk about chess. When I was a kid, I learned how to play chess pretty young. I had this game for the NES called The Chess Master, which I don't even remember. I was trying to think. I don't even remember buying this game or asking for this game. I think my older cousin at one point got rid of a bunch of his NES games and just gave that to me. It was in a stack of games, and the game had a tutorial mode. The tutorial on this NES game was if you try to move a piece, it would just go, like not a valid move. It didn't tell you where you could move the piece. To my knowledge, I think it just told you where you couldn't. So I had to learn like where the pieces moved based off of, the game buzzing at me or not. The reason I'm saying all of this though is because once I learned how to play, I actually started playing with my grandfather. And after playing with him for a while, he actually gave me his chess set, which is this really awesome marble chess set, which is where this piece comes from. It's heavy duty. I don't know where he got it. I wish I knew the story behind it. Maybe my mom knows, but it's so cool to have that from my grandpa. So anyway, let's fast forward to today. When my kids got old enough and they learned that I had a chess set, and they wanted to learn how to play, I, of course, taught them how to play. And the worst thing about teaching your kids how to play chess, or any game, really, for that matter, is that when it's a new thing, they will not stop asking for it. They ask to play chess all the time. It's constant. It's, Daddy, can we play a game? Well, I don't know. What game do you want to play? Well, how about chess? Like, no, I don't think I want to play chess today. And then they're like, oh, you never play games with me, right? That whole thing where they act like life is unfair, okay? They bug you about it constantly. So that's one thing. But the other part of it is sometimes their attention span doesn't always hold for games, which can be upsetting, right? Like, I'm the kind of guy, like, if we're going to sit down and play a game, I want to play the game. That's what we decided to do. We're playing the game. We're not jumping around and eating chips and watching TV and doing crazy stuff and playing with the animals. Like, we're playing this game. We're playing chess. And chess seems to have a hard time holding kids, at least young kids' attention. And I'm wondering, I don't know this for sure, right? I'm not a kid scientist, pediatrician. No, I'm not a kid doctor. I'm not a philosopher. I'm not a psychiatrist. That's it. That's what I was looking for. I'm not a child psychiatrist. But I wonder if chess is, more boring for kids because it's not like a colorful map with like a spinner, or you don't roll dice and you're not moving like a character around or whatever. So maybe it's a little more boring because of that, but it has a hard time holding your kids' attention, which can be exhausting. And if you're a parent, you know that there are times when you're playing a game and you're like, gosh, can we please just get this over with? You might give your kids, piece a little nudge when they're not looking and kind of cheat in their favor to help them win, right? And then you're like, oh, wow, good job. Wow, that was a great game. All right, buddy, go find something fun to do. Whatever. It was fun playing that game with you. You can't do that with chess. You can't let your kids win. You can't cheat in their favor, at least with young kids when they're first learning. I think it's statistically impossible for you to sway the game in their favor and accidentally coerce them into giving you a checkmate. I don't think you can do that, which means you have to play the whole game and you have to play to win unless you want to sit there for hours. So, that's one thing about chess is it usually takes a while. The kids aren't paying attention and you have to beat them. And sometimes you feel bad for it, but I guess that's a good thing with chess is that it teaches defeat, right? Kids learn how to lose pretty quick and they get frustrated, but that actually leads to a good thing with chess, I think. And it's that kids seem to pick it up quickly. At least my two kids picked it up way quicker than I thought they would. Like once they start picking up on it, they get pretty good pretty quick. And by pretty good, I mean they can at least make some solid decisions, right? And it's not them just like randomly moving pieces or whatever. So that's cool. Like I don't really know what the deal is behind that, but my kids picked it up pretty quick. But the bad thing about having two kids that know how to play chess is that they will not play with each other. It is, Daddy, do you want to play chess with me? no, I'm sorry, go ask your brother. So she asks her brother and he's like, no, but I'll play with daddy if he wants to play. Like, they only want to play with me. They don't want to play with each other. I don't know if you guys deal with that if you have kids that are around the same age, but it drives me nuts. And not that big of a deal. I'm making it sound like it's this huge thing and it's really not. But, you know, just throwing my opinions out there as I do, because this is my channel where I throw opinions out there like this, right? Yeah, so I guess to kind of wrap it up from the dad perspective, I mean, I went over a lot of cons, but it can teach patience. It can teach strategy. And again, it teaches them, you know, to not be a sore loser, teaches sportsmanship and that sort of thing, because you can't cheat and let them win. So I think those are good things. Overall, like, there are definitely times where I would probably choose to play chess over something else. Definitely over Chutes and Ladders. Oh man, I need to make a video about Chutes and Ladders and my severe distaste for that game. Anyway, that's enough from the dad perspective of chess. Now let's move on to the critic point of view. I'm out of Jack Daniels, by the way. It's a sad day. I came home, I was ready to make this video, went to pour some Jack. It's gone, so I had to dip into my good stash. This is Basil Hayden Dark Rye. My buddy Tim and his wife came over earlier in the summer and brought a bottle of this, a new bottle, and left it here for me. Really kind of them. It's awesome whiskey. If you guys like rye whiskey, this stuff is pretty good. Whiskey for strength. Okay, as an adult, I guess the main thing is that chess is hard. Man, chess is a difficult game. I'm criticizing my kids for not being, good enough to beat me, but I am amateur level, like at absolute best. I think there's 3 types of people in this world. There's people that don't know how to play chess. There's people who know the rules to chess. And then there are people who probably have like a chess related tattoo somewhere on their body. Like people who absolutely love it. Chess is not a casual hobby. If you're ever with someone and they bring up chess in a conversation, they're like, hey, do you like to play chess? Tell them no. Okay, because that person is a shark and they are hungry. They are looking for a meal, and that is you. You tell them no. I know how to play chess. I'm really only confident enough to play my own kids. I don't want to play anybody else and get beat. That's not fun. I don't know if this is my own personal like ADHD thing, but I cannot think more than 2 steps ahead. Some days, maybe if I'm like slamming coffee and I'm in lockstep with the world, I can maybe think 3 steps ahead, but I can't strategize chess, man. It's more just like, I try to anticipate what my opponent's going to do in their next move, and I try to block that, and that's the extent of my strategy, right? So I'm not good at chess, but people who are good at it love it. And to those people, I commend them, because it's not for me. I don't know. I don't really know what else to say about chess. I guess I can't really talk about chess without mentioning the single most prolific instance of chess awareness in the general public, at least in America. And of course, I'm talking about Bobby. Oh, I know this part. He's going to talk about Bobby Fischer. Nope. I'm talking about Bobby Digital, better known as the RZA from Wu-Tang Clan. He produced, mixed, arranged, programmed their whole first album, Into the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers, and there's a song on there called The Mystery of Chess Boxing. And I know this is a bit of a sidebar, but I can't talk about chess without talking about this song, because it's my favorite track from the album. And I don't know if you guys know anything about Wu-Tang, but at least with their origins, they took a lot of their names, like their personal names and song names, from English dubbed kung fu films from the 70s. So there is a kung fu film called The Mystery of Chess Boxing, and so they have a track which has vocal samples from it. If you guys listen to it, let me know what you think. Personally, I think Ghostface's verse is the best. Ghostface was my favorite Wu-Tang MC for the longest time. Him and Raekwon, but in recent years, I've grown fond of Inspector Deck. I think he's pretty cool. Anyway, I'm sidebarring. This video isn't about chess anymore. It's about Wu-Tang, but give it up for Wu-Tang. Bobby Digital, not Bobby Fischer. I'm kidding. We can give it up for Bobby Fischer too. I never saw his movie or any biographies or anything, but I heard he was great, so I guess he probably was. Okay, this video has gone off the rails. I'm done talking about chess. Like the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, help the channel out. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys as always, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, I'm out. Peace.